morning, everybody. It is April 7th, almost 10 o'clock. We're hitting the road, heading out to some new ground today. We have been striking out recently. In the last, I think I'm at 32 houses in a row with either a no answer, or sorry, we already have turkey hunters here. I've learned this year it's very difficult in southern Ontario to get permission to turkey hunt, at least where I'm near. So it's been pretty stressful running on 3 or 4 full tanks of gas without getting a single yes, but you know, that's just part of it, and it's to be expected. You know, it's not supposed to be an easy thing. A lot of guys go out, they think, oh, I saw turkeys here, I'll ask them the day before season to see if I could go out. And you know, it absolutely does work in some places, but you got to remember there are a lot of places that it doesn't work. So I think I've hit just about every single property within maybe a 10-mile radius of my place, just trying to get one yes. We got a couple yeses for waterfowl season, which is great, but nothing that we liked too much for turkey. One of the places that we got waterfowl permission, it's going to be field hunts, silage for goose and duck. However, he already has a guy that turkey hunts there, so he said, hey, waterfowl hunting is only for you guys, and I have deer hunting only for somebody and turkey hunting only for somebody. So he wants to make sure everybody gets a little piece of the pie. He's a really, really generous guy for that. Gotta love when farmers, you know, even if they are a hunter, they still allow people there and allow people to enjoy the land just as they do. It's always incredible, but you gotta remember there's not a lot of people out there that actually do that. Most of the time it will be farmers, from my experience, because of course they're crops, but that's part of doing it all, man. So since we're guiding this year, this is our first year turkey guiding. Last year we did waterfowl, had a tremendous year doing so, harvested a lot of birds, but my true passion is turkey hunting. So when I pitched the idea to Darcy, you know, he's always been a big turkey hunter as well, and he was more than happy to do it. So we do have a few really good properties to where we're comfortable enough to schedule down. So we have been getting a couple hunts scheduled, and we actually gave away 2 youth hunts. Really looking forward to those. I've always wanted to do something along that matter, you know, get the youth out on a free guided hunt. And you know, it's not saying much when it's your first year guiding, but I am really confident in my turkey hunting ability, at least, even though the turkeys really make me question that every now and then. But it's gonna be a cool experience. And you know, also on top of that, being able to get youth out on a guided hunt, like I said, I'm learning it's really hard to find public land, or there's not much public land around my house, at least, and it's very difficult to get private land. So a lot of these people, you know, they don't have the money for leases, and they don't have the time to go out and ask all these landowners. Luckily for Darcy and I, you know, we work set schedules for the most part, and we know when we can get out, and when we have the free time, that's all we're doing. So it's April 7th now. We got just under 3 weeks until turkey season, trying to get as many properties under our belt as we can for now to stay comfortable. And then of course come turkey season, if we're driving around scouting, find a few birds in the field, see if we could strike up a good word with the landowner. But again, man, a lot of people don't understand the time, work, and especially the gas that goes into finding these birds. And not everybody's got the big family 500-acre farm in their backyard, so sometimes you just gotta shut up, and put up, man. That's about it. Get the miles on the tires. Make sure your knuckles are red from knocking on so many doors, and get the job done. So, heading out now. We're actually on our way to a WMU with a lot of, up here in Canada, they call it Crown Land. Essentially, it's hunting access land, public hunting. So, I'm actually going straight to 2 parcels today of Crown Land. And we're not going to be guiding on a public land at all this year. However, Darcy and I don't want to shoot our birds on our guide land. So, we want to make sure all those birds are fresh and, you know, there's plenty of them around when we take the clients out and they're not over hunted. So figured go hit up this public land, see what it's like. This is actually it's not a lot of land, it's river frontage. So I'm gonna check that out, see if I can find a shed or two, and it's probably more so gonna be for waterfowl, but you just never know what you're gonna find. So I figured if I'm going out to where there's a lot of public land, there should also be a lot of private land. So hopefully we get there, like what we see there, and then branch out to find some private and knock on some doors. So I am 15 minutes from where I'm going, but I already like the terrain that I see around me, a lot of farmland. Hopefully we're just kind of venturing a little bit more so into the middle and nothing. But we'll see how it goes. Again, it's 10 o'clock right now, so a little bit later than I'd like, but turkeys should be out in the field. Cool, crisp morning. They've been talking recently, so maybe we'll get one on his feet and talking up. So stay tuned, let's see how it goes. I pulled up onto this track for the first time. Realized I forgot my crow call, so tried out the owl, and I think I just heard a hen give off 3 or 4 yelps, probably 150 yards this way. But first time seeing this property, I didn't realize I was here. I was like, oh, this looks kind of turkey-ish as I was driving through, and then I saw the signs. I was like, oh, that could be a good thing. So we're gonna take a walk back here and see if we could strike a bird up just to get a general idea and hopefully get a better lay of the land, and just kind of go from there. Alrighty guys, just walked here. It looks okay. There's it's definitely a common spot for people to walk their dogs by the looks of it, on this part at least. A little logging road goes back and it just does a couple turns here and there. So I'm getting in the car. We're gonna head up here and see what all it borders. It didn't look like, I didn't really see any turkey sign back through there. Didn't see a lot of good trees back in there either. So the other side over here actually looks pretty good. However, right now it looks like it's fairly flooded. So it's hard to tell just by driving around, so I don't have too much of an opinion on it yet. But here on this side, it actually borders a power line, which I thought I saw on the map. Unfortunately, here in Canada, can't, well, here in Ontario where I'm at, you can't use onX. So we have an app called iHunter, which is great to show Crown Land, but doesn't show you half as much as what onX does. So we work with what we have regardless. So if it borders the power line on that side, obviously it's bordering the power line on this side. But this is a little bit smaller of a tract, a little over 300 acres. So we're on our way to that river system that I had talked about earlier, which I can't recall how many acreage that is. It's not too much. It extends a good way, but it's not too much because it doesn't go far off the river almost anywhere for the most part. But the rest of this looks, over here on this end, does look a little bit thicker than I would normally like. A lot more terrain. But somebody's actually here too, parked, checking it out themselves. So I'll definitely keep this one in my back pocket for when I go out, you know, just myself trying to fill a tag. maybe I'll just, it's one of those places, you know, you drive around, crow call, drive to another spot, crow call, maybe walk, do a few yelps. Nothing crazy, but it's not really on the way to where I was going, but it's closer to where I was going than my house. So I figured I'd make the stop. We're on our way over to the next spot, and maybe on the way over find some private land that I like and knock on some doors. So let's see what we make happen today. So I actually only ended up a couple, not even, maybe a mile down the road. I opened up my map and noticed that there was 80 some acres of crown land on another parcel. Decided to swing by, check it out. There's a river that runs through here and it's running pretty good right now, but as you guys could see, very mountainy on this little section. Behind me, a lot of young pines. Not quite big enough for roosting, but always worth checking out. This actually looks somewhere nice to, I think in this WMU, oh, there's a duck. A couple ducks, couple mallards going screaming down the river. In this WMU, you can only use muzzleloaders and a bow, and this actually looks like a pretty decent muzzleloader spot with all the foliage off the trees. Find yourself a nice high point and look for anything going down the valley. So when I pulled up here, it's adjacent to a big farm. Knocked on the door, nobody home, but they have a massive field in the back. And I was looking on the map to see if there's any roosting locations for turkeys. And other than on the other side of their field, didn't look like much. But I figured let's stop and check it out for deer season. We're already out here. Let's figure it out a little bit. I got to the what I was calling the river frontage spot, and it's about 300 or so acres, and I just got out and checked out this one little piece of it. Almost can't walk anywhere. It's really, really thick. It's more of a creek than anything. It's not even labeled on the map that I have. It looked a lot wider on the map, but I would assume it's at its widest right now because everywhere's flooded. So it's probably as big as it gets. It's not easy to cross anywhere. So heading off to another portion of this, another little spot you're able to jolt in. I love the surrounding land. A lot of this is cornfield and there's a lot of pines. So I'm liking that part, but it seems like the only spots that the turkeys will hit are on the private land. So you gotta really bank on getting on the edge of this, on the edge of the crown land, so that you can get to where the turkeys want to be. But you've really got to focus on, you know, obviously where you're at in correlation with everything. So I'm gonna see what I can find on the other side of this, and hopefully we come across maybe a field edge or something along the matter. Alrighty guys, just switched gears. Still fairly close to the public land, but we're knocking on doors now. Just anywhere that looks like it could have turkeys. Just stopped at the first one, no answer. There's a couple cars there, but what are you gonna do? So we're stopping next door, and they got a puppy out, so someone's definitely home, and hopefully it's a nice dog. So, oh, they're actually in their car. I hate when this happens. I don't like confronting people when they're ready to leave or just getting home. So, aw, cute little puppy. Old yellow lab. So, keeping the camera on, let's see how it goes. Hi, buddy. Hi. Oh my my goodness. There goes all my battery, and that's alright. Well guys, I'm in heaven right now. I'll explain a little bit more later as to what's going on. My camera battery died as soon as I got back into my car. I just heard the first gobble of the season. Finally, we're only 3 weeks away and I finally just got my first gobble, maybe 200 yards out. See if we could strike him again. Gosh, I want to call him in, but I know I shouldn't. God, I love that. He actually came in closer. He was at 200. He's probably at 160-ish now. So I'm going to back out and explain myself to you guys a little bit better after what's going on. Well, guys, I have no idea what to say right now. I'm going through a roller coaster of emotions, man. So, I was talking before I got out of the car. The gentleman was getting in his car to leave. You know, I hate when that happens because then it's a little bit more intrusive to them. They've got somewhere to be. But I talked to the gentleman who owned the land. Such an awesome guy. Super, super nice. And he owns a decent bit of land and planted thousands of spruce trees 32 years ago, and he allowed me to walk it, check it out, and struck up a bird. It was awesome. But when I got back in my car, as soon as I got back in, the camera battery died, and he wanted me to follow him to show me where to park, to walk to check out the land. So I didn't want to be wasting time and, you know, changing out batteries, worrying about my camera. He had somewhere to go, but I was more focused on that. So we go, and he was going across the street to his son's house, and you know, he's originally, the conversation went, he didn't allow people hunting back there. His brother-in-law is the only one that hunts back there, but he hasn't hunted in a few years due to being sick. And then he starts telling me his property boundaries and the normal stuff as to if they're okay with you hunting there. And, you know, he said, well, if you do come back, what are the things you'd be doing? You know, told him about the show and everything and tried to explain what we do, that ordeal. And he seemed to really open up and be okay with it. So he allowed me to check out the property. It was absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I got that bird to strike up twice, and that was just icing on the cake. But he said at the end, he said, I'm not saying yes yet. And I said, okay. Exchanged numbers, you know, had a great conversation with him. And then I get this text. After checking out one side of his property, I was on the other that his son lives on. And he messages me and says, let me tell you exactly, so I don't misword this. He says, I'm sorry, but my son is freaking out right now. You will have to leave now, ... We'll talk later. So I'm absolute, you know, through the moon, 30 some properties later, finally get a yes. And all that happens. So it's a really interesting situation right now. I was walking out, I'm in the field walking back to cross the street to get to my car. His son's outside and just kind of looking at me from his porch. So I get closer to my car, he's inside. I get in my car, he walks outside and kind of looked like he was picking up rocks. I don't know if he was intending on, you know, throwing them or anything like that, but he was acting real jumpy, walking in circles in his grass. And I was gonna stop and say, hey, you know, I'm really sorry if I upset you. That's not my intention at all. You know, try to de-escalate the situation and maybe figure out what's going on. But, you know, there was a few things that led me to believe maybe, you know, his dad certainly had money, and he had told me he built the house for his son, and it's a gorgeous house, but his son just seemed really erratic, and he may be, you know, going through something. So again, I don't want to talk too much on that and start assuming things about other people's lives, but I figured it was the safest bet was not to stop. You know, it could have just escalated the situation even more, so I just tried not to look over and continued to drive. But ended up leaving the property, and I guess I'll hear back later on from the landowner, but it's not looking too good right now. I guess, pulling at hairs here, holding on to hope of we'll talk later. I don't know, it's interesting, but that's the life of a turkey hunting guide, I guess. Year 1, baby. The struggles are hitting and rolling with the punches. Stuff happens, man. Other people have lives that you don't know about, and that's just that. So, well, driving around and found a flock of 9. Looks like all hens. I don't see any redheads, any beards or anything. However, there is a hen posturing up, which is pretty cool. But just makes me, I'm right down the road from that property, and it just makes me want there more. Very cool to see these though. Always nice to find turkeys in the area just to solidify. That might be a Jake posturing. Hard to see, but might be something there. Look where I ended up. What's up, bozos?
Oh, you know.
Oh, you know.
Oh, you
just
know.
being Canadian, eh? What are we up to?
Searching for some turkeys.
What did you guys just do?
Outplayed you and got 2 spots.
What did I do today?
Wasted fuel. Yeah,
A
pretty
lot
much.
of fuel. And got permission on a spot, but what happened to that? Potentially,
You lost her.
potentially a thumbs down on that one. Met up with Darcy and Cam. We are all on our way out. These guys are incredible and got 2 properties adjacent to each other. So that was about combined, what, 300 acres you guys said? 400 acres. So super excited about that. One of the ladies just said to bring her a turkey leg. So I think that's a very fair trade-off. So the day went good for them. I am 0.5 for like 12, and they are 2 for 2. Again, that's just how it goes, but still putting in the work, and we are on our way to some new ground. So hopefully this pays off and we get some more land today. Great news, guys. We are already 1 for 1. We just secured one of the bigger properties I've ever been part of. How many acres do you guys think that was? We didn't really ask.
5 max.
That's what I was thinking, 500. Awesome, awesome property. We drove by, thought it was an incredible looking property, wanted to find out who owned it, did a couple turnarounds, figured it out, and nicest landowner ever. He's a real young guy, owns the dairy farm. Said he has a couple deer hunters back there, and that's it. So looks like we have it all to ourselves for turkeys. He said he sees a turkey occasionally here and there, doesn't really look for them, so just the fact that he sees them, we know they're there. Plus, you check out this property, we know they're there. We were gonna walk it, but unfortunately Cam only has running shoes on, so ground's too wet to deal with that. So we're gonna come back another day and fully check it out. But what an incredible parcel. We're at the neighbors now trying to add on. So even if we don't get it, I'm not gonna be too upset. But if we do, it's just that much better. Be icing on the cake. Whew, this is shaping up a lot better than the last couple weeks have. Well, we're 2 for 2. I can't believe this. Again, I was like 0 for 33. Now we're 2 for 2.
I'm 4 for 4. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, this guy's 4 for 4. I don't know what I did wrong. I've been doing this my whole life, knocking on doors, never had an issue until I moved up here, but
Wonderful.
so
Yeah.
we don't know what just happened. We pulled up to a little family gathering at this incredible farm, and greatest people we have ever met. We are now what today, 3 for 3? Or 3 for 4 if we're not counting
5. I'm 5 for 5.
No, I'm saying just today, like when we all got together.
Yeah. Oh, we're 3 for 3.
Yeah, we had one no answer because they weren't home, but for the people that answered, we are 3 for 3. What a moment. We were just here for a good half hour talking, BSing with these people. They're having a little cookout. Nicest people imaginable, had crazy conversations. So we got the guy's number. We're gonna come back. Probably me and Cam may come back out here tomorrow morning to figure out property lines a little bit better because it was just BSing with them the whole time. So what a freaking day, y'all. This is such a 180 from what I was experiencing earlier today. This is just incredible. Turkey season just got so much more promising. It was already promising, but it just got so much better. So we are all on an absolute, I don't even know what the word is. We're all on our own little high rate now with properties. We've got a buzz from these turkeys, and the lady also gave us some Coors, so maybe that's what's kicking in right now. But this has been an awesome afternoon, and we'll see what happens from here on out. Woo! Let's go, baby! Wow, that whole time I was not recording.
Dude, they're beautiful. See that wood duck behind those mallards in the tree branch?
Yep.
And then the one to the left? Dude, they're beautiful.
Camera stays on you, buddy.
Can't get over.
I just got that wood duck splashing down on camera.
I can't get over that green on that mallard's head. That dark green. It's so vibrant.
Well, we just glassed some birds in a field, found the property owner, and walked up, told him what we were doing. He said, yep, go for it, walked back in the house. So it was kind of a weird interaction, but we stopped at a place just before this, and the property owner said he already had too many guys. We're now 4 for 5, right?
Something like, yeah, 4 for 5.
4 for 5. It's been an absolutely incredible day. So this is a very large farm. The landowner just really didn't care, which makes us think probably a couple other guys hunting. He thought we were talking about the other side of the road, which he said would be archery only if it were that side. So, but he said because it's on this side, he doesn't care. So kind of threw us off a little bit trying to figure that out. He really didn't care, just walked back in the house, and we're set. So
What WMU is this?
what a freaking day, guys. That's a cool shot. Backlit too. They're just splashing. I love this. Like you said, waddling. Waddle. Well, guys, that just goes to show how up and down every single day can be as a turkey guide. Wow, is all I have to say. I mean, just a roller coaster of emotions to start things off. You know, the guy allowed me to check out his property, and I got a bird hammering, you know, absolutely feeling it. Then he tells me, hey, sorry, you gotta go. My son's freaking out, having no idea what's going on there. Still haven't heard back from him. And then just no after no after no, all being sorry we have somebody turkey hunting here. And then I meet up with Darcy and Cam, and it's just bam, flip of the switch. Couldn't be easier. You know, it was amazing. It was incredible. Again, we got 4 out of 5, every single property. I think the smallest property was 150 acres. And all of them just loaded from what we could see. That last property we saw, a little muskrat just dove into a little mud hole. Once again, just saw, I don't even know what I'm saying. Just absolutely incredible day. We're stopped for a train, heading back to the in-laws now. Cam and I are gonna get out in the morning and see if we can get some birds talking, so we'll see how she goes. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. There goes the train, passenger train. I have not seen one of them in a minute. That's gonna do it for me for now, guys. Y'all make sure to tune into the next one. Hopefully Cam and I get on some birds tomorrow, get them talking, get some good footage of some out in the field, and maybe I'll do a little review on some new decoys as well. So y'all make sure to tune in, check it out. Hit that like and subscribe button to help me get this content rolling out for you guys. And that's gonna do it. Y'all make sure to enjoy your day. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless y'all.